Hi, ladies and gentlemen, I am Professor Merriweather, the author of Enough is Enough, Public Education Has Spiraled Out of Control, and I'm the host of Straight Talk in room 503. I've been away from you guys due to the fact that I ran for our local school board, and God blessed me to win because I was anointed, endorsed, supported, and pushed into the race for school board because at this particular point in my life, it was time for me to get on the inside to find out what's causing our babies not to learn in school and why every child is not treated right and everything has to be based upon the zip code. So I'm on a mission to save as many children as I can before I leave this planet, and to make sure that those who labor in the vineyard with our children, regardless of their zip code, that they are blessed and treated fairly and right. I'm on a justice kick. I'm looking for justice for the children, justice for the staff, justice for the community. That's what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to come to you, had no plan of doing this show today, but I had to come to you by divine order. And when you get a divine order, you have to answer. This morning I attended a class. I recently rejoined a church that I had joined before looking after my aunt, before she passed, and then I returned to the church where God wanted me to be. And I want to say this and give recognition to the church's New St. Luke, and got a very fine pastor, the pastor, Dennis E. Blaylock, preached a very beautiful sermon today on children obeying their parents and our responsibility as parents, not only as parents, our responsibility as lay people in the community as well. The sermon was so well presented that I told the pastor at the end of the service, I want the copyrights to that sermon. He said, look, I'm going to let you have a copy on me. So I got the DVD that I can enjoy and share with other people, because I've heard a lot of preachers preach on children, the responsibility and what the church should do, what the community should do. But this sermon here was tops, and I'm just privileged that Pastor Blaylock allowed me to have a copy of it. So I'm grateful to that. Looking forward to some great things from that pastor. But let me get back to this. So I joined some couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and you have a new members class. And so I attended the class, and this time you're supposed to go to the covenant, learn about the covenant, the church covenant. So I arrived there at the church this morning, unbeknown that God wanted me to be there at that particular time with the person who was going to teach the course. And I didn't know the lady. Later learned who she were, but I did not know her. So when I came in and opened the door, I was 5 minutes late because I got up this morning and took a sick spell and really wasn't going to church. And I've only missed church since I was age 3 when my mama drugged me to church. So I've been drugged before. She drugged me to church. And I haven't missed but 4 times in 63 years. And I said, well, the devil started saying, you deserve to stay home today. You don't feel well. And but God wanted me to be there because he had a lady waiting to talk to me. So anyway, I pushed myself, didn't feel real good, but pushed myself to go on to church because my parents had raised me in the church. And I love going to church, my Lord. I just believe in raising and praising him. So anyway, I went on to church, and when I was got there about 5 minutes late, and I didn't know who, I forgot the lady's name, really, to be honest with you. And so I said, who is the lady that's supposed to do the class for me this morning? So, oh, she's already here. That's Miss Williamson. She's waiting on you. And when I walked in, she was waiting on me. She had a Bible open and what have you. And she told me, well, I've been knowing you for a while. Never knew this lady exists. And she said, I knew your mother. You don't look that old to know my mother. And she really wasn't at all. But ladies and gentlemen, watch this here. I just had to talk to you today. I hope you don't mind me speaking to you on a Sunday. She told me that the church that my mother and her attended, which was First Baptist Church, that she was somewhere around the late 20s, early 30s. And she said that her mother had passed. She prayed to God that someone would come and be like a mother to her. Well, lo and behold, it was my mother, Mother Frances Louise, who was led to her. And she talked with her, and she said, I shudder to think how my life would not have been where I am now if it had not been for your mother. Now, is this a coincidence that I'm sitting down here talking with someone? My mother's been gone for a long time. I'm sitting and talking with a lady who says, your mother church my life. And unbeknown to me, she was going to church my life. You do know that blessings deserve blessing. Blessing on blessing is blessing. And then she went on and told me that not only that she had 3 children. And she said, your mother also nurtured and assisted me with my daughter. And my daughter has never been the same since your mother touched her. Isn't that what Professor Merriweather trying to do? Trying to church as many lives before my time up on the planet. And I ask people that look like me and that doesn't look like me, all I ask you to do, will you join me? And they still sitting on the side that time. Congratulations, Mr. Merriweather. You're going to do good. You what we need. We count on you. Well, when the hell can I count on you? Oh, I did tell you that this is a class of straight talk. I don't sugarcoat it, don't have time for it. Okay, not my style. Those who know me, not my style. But anyway, to move this point along, while I got you listening to me and being in class today, you do know you're in the class of straight talk. So when I talk straight with you, you understand why. This ain't cut and corner class. This is straight talk. So anyway, the lady was telling me that my mother impacted her life. Then she went on, and due to the fact, she says, oh, by the way, congratulations on your school board run. She said, you will do good. She said it with authority, and I never met this lady. She said, you're going to do good. So she went on, and we got to talking about some other things, and she told me this. She went on and shared her work experience with me. She said that she used to work out at one of the local colleges, which happened to be Union University, which is one of the prestigious Christian college where a lot of people go that doesn't look like me. And so she said that she was working out there. And she said she observed a whole lot of things. And she said, well, when she would talk to people, people would listen to her. Ordained by Christ. People will listen if you ordained by Christ and not by Satan. But anyway, she said she had talked to a lot of the students out there. She would observe them. She said what she couldn't understand was why was there no people of color in 1991 coming out of the Christian university. And she said, so she talked to the man in charge of the teaching program and asked, why don't people of color become teachers as well? He said they never applied. Now, he's in somebody's church today. I don't know him, but he's in somebody's church today, praising God. And then when they get ready to leave the church, how you, Professor so-and-so? How you, Professor so-and-so? And then when they see me, oh, that's that Mr. Merriweather. So listen to this. The man told her that, and she said, I knew immediately it was a lie. And I asked her, why? How did she know that the students didn't apply? She said, Mr. Merriweather, by me being out there in the domestic department, I talk to people all the time. I met them out there. And I would say, oh, how you doing? What's your name? What are you trying to accomplish? And they would tell her that I tried to get in the teacher's program, but they always find some reason where I couldn't get in. So Professor lied. I don't have no sugar. I wish I could go get a little sugar and put on there, but I ain't gonna put no sugar on there. I'm gonna just bring it to you raw because this is class straight talk. So the professor lied. She said she didn't quit. God's people don't quit. Meriwether's not gonna quit either. And they know I'm not gonna quit. A guy said it so well yesterday. Things gonna change now, Brother Meriwether. You coming to the board. Oh, I'm not going to raise hell. I just bought a bag of justice. I want justice. I'm not for injustice. I'm for everybody being treated fairly. I can't help it because my mama and my daddy and my grandmama, they gone on. And all of my church people at St. Paul, Gladys Davis, Cleo Boyd, Rosie Maggie Hopper, Rosie Finger Maggie Hopper, Ernestine Raymond, Ernest Carter, Melvin Wright, and I could just go on and on and on. I am not who I am today because just my parents. The whole community had a part in this old boy. And now I want to give back. But now I find the community don't want to darn work with me. They just used to the status quo. So anyway, this lady in the custodial department went and talked to the head of the teaching program. Come on now, listen to me. And told him that that wasn't right. She said, you call this a Christian university, but yet you don't want to do the right thing, and that's wrong. How is our children going to fare well? Ladies and gentlemen, this is 1991 in Jackson, Tennessee, my hometown. And some of you all are still living in this hometown with me. And you're satisfied as hell over nothing and with nothing. Hello? Oh, don't touch that dial. Don't you hang up on me. I ain't finished with you. So listen, do you know it was then, she said 3 years later, she stayed after that man. And 3 years later, they began to accept people of color into the teaching program. And we wonder now why we don't have teachers, excuse me. You do, I want to give you some more information a lot of you don't know, because if you don't get it from Straight Talking from Meriwether, ain't nobody else going to tell you. So if you want to hate on me, go on hate on me. And then you can do no weapons formed against me can do any harm to me. There's nothing you can do with me. I'm at the right place at the right time. Can't take my job from me. I'm retired. Can't get my house. Can't get my car. Can't turn my woman against me because I'm not married. Ain't a darn thing you can do to me. Get the hell out of my way. If you ain't willing to do right, get the hell out of my way. I'm just shooting straight with you. This is Straight Talk. If you don't like it, go on and hit the dial now. Because it ain't going to get no better. It's going to get worse before it get better. You know, when Mama used to give you that castor sodium or castor oil, I call it castor oil. And Mom will say, you feel worse, but you feel better. So sometimes you have to feel worse before you feel better. Some of you need to be feel worse before you get better. So I'm going to give you some medicine today, and you're not going to feel good, but you'll feel better. All right. So anyway, that's how the program got into there. Then she said, oh, but let me tell you this here. She said, when I be down the hallway mopping and sweeping and going on, said I would look in the classroom and I would see little black students in the classroom. I'm trying to say, wait a minute. I'm confused. They're not accepting people of color, but yet they got people of color's children in the classroom where I don't understand. Help me out, Miss Williamson, that's her name. She said they was busing kids into the class. I said, well, what, once a month, every 2 years? She said, every day. They has black students. Now, if it's a lie, Miss Williams, you get her. Call me. I'll tell you where she lives and give you a phone number. You go get her. I'm not making this up. I'm the one bringing you the message. She said they came every day. Now, listen, by me being an old administrator then, and it happened during daytime, not during night. Now, they didn't bring them in at night, slide them in at night and get them out. This is a broad on daylight. And people of the black community, you sitting back and didn't even know nothing about this. But now listen what the woman said. She said that, I said, well, they bring the same kids. She said, oh, no, they didn't bring the same students here. School was sending these kids. Do you believe? Now listen, now this is illegal. I cannot, as an administrator, send a child anywhere without parental permission. And I don't believe that every day a person is and I could be naive, is allowing their child to go out to Union University when they ought to be in the classroom, and now our kids are reading on below grade level. So my question is, so after we did that, and imagine this is in 1991, I don't know who the superintendent was, you can run that down. I don't know who the president of Union University is, you can run that down. But it happened on both of them shift. That black students was being bused out to Union University. I said, well, why were they doing that, Ms. Wilson? She said, I talked to some of the teachers. Now listen, this is a lady out there doing domestic work. She said, I talked to some of the people in the program and asked them why were those kids in the room. She said, so that we can learn how to teach children of color, because we don't know. Listen to that statement again. Let me get that slow it down. Why are these students brought out here to Union in this program? So that we can learn how to educate them, understand them, know what they're thinking. Watch this. That went on, she said, for 3 or 4 years. Now, let's move it up to 2018. The previous superintendent, Dr. Zambito, she hired a whole lot of more teachers that didn't look like us. Then Ruffing, she hired 135, another 135 on the 10 of them was us. 7 females and 3 blacks. Then come along Dr. Jones, our new superintendent. He hired 115, on the 15 of them look like us. And now we up to date. This year, the same superintendent hired 117 teachers. Of those 117, 91 of them are white. And the others are people of color, 25. 25 out of 91. Now, I'm not saying nothing I haven't said to the superintendent, so you can go on and talk. Oh, he hating on the superintendent. He well loved in this community. I love him too. But I'm on the side of right too. I told him, and I'm going to tell you, if we keep going on at the same pace, we have 340 brand new white young teachers straight out of school, and they need to work just like black folks. All of our children in a 65% population, we're 65%, and all of the academic are ran by people that don't look like me. And also, excuse me, something jumped up on my screen. I apologize. It kind of got me. We're going to wake up one day and there'll be 500 brand new young teachers straight out of school. Now watch this here. Union University is no longer doing that. What's happening now, while that our children are reading below grade level, number one, is for 2 reasons, and maybe 3 or 4, but let me talk about 2. One is that the parents are not training and not helping them. They're not prepared when they get to school. This week, someone teacher told me this week, Mr. Merrill, when they get to class, a lot of them don't even know their name, don't know how to spell their name. But Melanie and people of non-color are able to come to school, know the ABCs, know the colors, know the shapes. Our parents need to be taught how to work and make sure that our children, that's why it's so important. Pre-K is really important. That's why I'm pushing in my district that we get this pre-K school. I'm not going for nothing out north until we can have what's going at north and a pre-K in the east. I represent all of the district, but in particular, the 6th district, that's my district. And I'm going to stand up for my district. You do whatever you want to do, stand up for my district. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. We have somehow got to turn this thing around. And so what I'm saying is that, and I said this publicly, I've said it to the board, and I'm going to repeat it to the board again, and I said it to the superintendent, so I'm not saying nothing behind nobody back. That's not my style. Unless we train our teachers who are coming into the district to teach, and able to teach children of color. We're going to continue to lose our boys and our girls. That's why the research says by third grade that if you don't have and read it on grade level, the chance of you being successful is slim to none. That's why they build in prison. Did you know that they in order to decide where prison needs to be and how many need to be built, is based upon their third grade research. They waiting on them kids, and they in the third grade, they waiting on. That's when they building prisons. And you hadn't got it. You too busy talking about Meriwether Place or joining me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to stay with you a long time on this. I just was blown away that this lady that I didn't know, that knew me. But then she prophesies. And I had my church service. I told her, I said, I don't need to go to church service. I already been blessed by God blessing me through you. She looked me dead in the eye. And she said this to me. You're going to do just fine as a board member. She says that no harm can come to you. So you haters and you folks who out there talking about me, I really don't give a. I'm going to do the will of the Father. I wish you would join me. My phone ought to be off the hook. My Facebook page ought to be filling up. My inbox ought to be filling up. My doorbell ought to be ringing. My folks flagging my car down. I want to get with you. I want to get with you. I ask you just something real simple. Bring your butt to the school board and find out what the hell going on, and you won't even do that. I've asked the faith-based community, particular people that looks like me in my community, join me. They won't show up, but they don't have no problem. Congratulations, Mr. Merrill. They ain't worth a flip. I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. But more important, come join in the fight with me. Help me to save as many children as we possibly can, because a whole lot of mess is going on. All of our academic staff don't look like me. Those are the people that the after school program, but they don't look like me. Majority of the principals, they don't look like me. All of the Magna programs have administrators, don't look like me. The assistants don't look like me. One school, the one Magna program, the Montessori program, has someone don't look like me. They got the assistant don't look like me. The guidance counselor don't look like me. And 3 teachers, 2 females and 1 male in the Montessori program. That if you can get in the Montessori program, that's why I'm telling parents to place their kid, they can excel and do well. But you call it a coincidence that all of the Magna program, which is nothing but private schools inside of public school, paid for by you. I thought it said the taxpayer dollar, by you, benefiting them over us. And you running your mouth, how did Mr. Meriwether win? And then win because you voted for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get out of here. I've been talking to you longer, but I just had to cut this video for you because once that lady touched my life, and I got the ordainedness from God, and then the affirmation and confirmation from her that nobody can hurt you, you will push on and do well for the kids. And I had to reach out to her and say, do you mind if I pray for you and bless you because you blessed me? And we prayed right there at church. Oh, I did go on to church service. And lo and behold, the pastor preached on the responsibility of parents and students. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of service, he gave me a free copy of the DVD. And I would like for you to see it. Everybody ought to hear that sermon. I've heard a lot of preachers preach the sermon, but nobody any better than that Reverend Dennis E. Blaylock. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you to join me. So I got to get out of here because the clock on the wall says you've been there long enough. So ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. I will develop a Facebook page. That is how I will be communicating with my constituents. And then if you don't have the internet or what have you, I'll be glad to touch base with you, call you, you call me, and I'll bring you up to date. But I'm going to try to publish the agendas and stuff, and I'm going to stay out there in the public with you. But I don't need you calling me on the phone telling me about Tay-Tay not being treated right and all that stuff, and then you won't show up at the school board. You show up at the school board and speak during the public hearing. I'll make sure that you get the attention of whoever department or whoever the individual that you need to hear for. But I don't want to come to the grocery store and I can't get my bologna and my bread, eggs, for you trying to tell me what's going on, and you hadn't done anything. You hadn't even been up to talk with the principal, nothing. Let's keep it civil. We're not out here to indict anybody. We're out here to make sure your child get a quality education. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, those who have not had a chance to buy the book, Public Education Has Spiraled Out of Control, and the title of the book is Enough is Enough. You can go to my website and purchase it. You can see me, or you can go to Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, and you can get the book. But anyway, I got to get out of here, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. But I was moved by that young lady telling me what was going on in my hometown, that they parading our children out there as guinea pig, and really guinea pig. Here are the colors out here, and try to figure out how to work with them, because you're going to be confronted with them. And then we got young ones coming out now and have no idea what's going on. A little lady on the Cotton Grove Road had to quit because she was attending one of the local schools. She said she couldn't teach. And then so they got rid of the principal. Now they got a new principal, and the one next door is not doing any better. We got a lot of discipline problem. Discipline is my forte. I mean, I started the alternative school, the zero tolerance, and the night school, and the truancy board. That's my expertise. God equipped me to be able to deal with anything in education. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not boasting, I'm bragging. I know education backwards and forward. I eat and sleep and dreaming and digesting and regurgitating. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, thank you for listening to me. Please share the video, because it's important that our people of color know what's going on right under their nose, and we understand why our kids are not reading on grade level, but they're dying in the street and they're going to fill the prisons. So ladies and gentlemen, to them it's incarceration, to some of them. To them and some of them, it's incarceration over education. But Professor Merriweather is for education over incarceration. Let's don't build jails. Let's expand the classroom. Let's build new schools. Not to bring students back. Let's deal with what we have. We can't worry about what's not there. Let's educate that which is in the classroom, those who come to the classroom. So ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to working with the school board, look forward to working with the constituents of my district, and look forward to working with everybody who's interested in doing the right thing. If you're not interested in doing the right thing, please don't waste my time. So ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself until we meet again. God bless, and hope that you have a blessed week. And until then, remember to live every day as if it's the last, because one day it's going to be your last day. And what will God say? I want to hear him say, well done. So I'm going to do what I know is right. Take care, and we'll talk then.